Orson Welles was born in Wisconsin in 1915 and experienced a tough childhood. His father was an alcoholic and his mother died just after he turned 9. 6 years later, his father died as well. Welles started his directing career in theater and radio. Welles' broadcast of War of the Worlds managed to convince the world of an apparent alien invasion. This became a big scandal. Through this, he attracted many Hollywood offers and eventually moved to Hollywood in 1939. He was offered to direct a film with complete independent and artistic control. Welles was about 25 years old when he created his remarkable masterpiece, Citizen Kane. This film is considered one of the greatest movies ever made. Another very significant film directed by Welles was Touch of Evil. It was a B-movie box office failure and was underappreciated by the public at the time, but now it is a classic.
So Orson Welles, his cinematography and his reframing basically revolutionized the way films were filmed and the way they're filmed now. But at the time it was quite controversial. His methods were very modern for his time, and very often the studios, they didn't really accept this, and they sort of cut pieces out of the movie because they thought this is what film should be and this is how it's supposed to look, which of course it wasn't.
The studios at the time were focusing on making the stars look good. There was a star in the A movie and the star was getting the movie going, and the movie had to be glamorous and beautiful, but Orson Welles was doing a completely different thing. His movies were discussing the mystery, the dark side of human nature.
Is a type of a style used by filmmakers around that area of time, during 1940s and 50s, where low-key lighting would be a very commonly used effect for mystery movies and to evoke a kind of dark and evil theme or motif.
There's very little fill light. The key light creates a great contrast between the light areas and the dark areas of the shot. There are a lot of shadows. A huge part of the frame is dark compared to what was actually acceptable at the time. This whole sense of corruptness and uncertainty is what Welles' movies were all about.
Your royal father's magic.
When you look at films today, you see how similar they are to, how similar the styles are to Orson Welles' style, and it really just shows what an impact he had on the film world and on the film industry.
The really special thing about Orson Welles' movies is that the use of deep focus. His shots, they look like paintings, and he was greatly influenced by the great artists at the time. He looked at certain European artists, European photographers, the American photographers, everything. Every shot is a very thought through photograph. It is a really beautiful picture, and that it makes the movies look great.
In Touch of Evil, there's a shot that's 11 minutes long, and this is really, it gives really the viewer a unique feeling because it makes the viewer feel as if he's in that situation and he's with the characters, and it makes the whole movie as a whole just so much more realistic and believable because the viewer is just so attracted to the movie. In the first shot of Touch of Evil, there's this, beautiful crane shot that takes several minutes, and I think quite often the viewer doesn't realize how difficult and extremely hard these shots are, because this massive crane is positioned on some type of truck or something, and then this whole thing starts sort of moving. It's almost incomprehensible, and and also the characters, they have to come on set at exactly the right moment and things like this. So these Orson Welles' movies are really sort of masterpieces of art, and they can really, every shot, as I said before, can really be just looked at and just really sort of analyzed. Of course, it must have been extremely annoying and sort of tough for Orson Welles, always having his shots and his shot selection sort of looked as if it's sort of not normal, and that it just doesn't belong in film. But when you see these shots and then you look at them, you realize how much hard work and effort goes into this, and it's a piece of art, really. Just this whole movie is a collage of these amazing shots put together, and yeah, it's really quite something.
Is that all you have to say for him?
He was some kind of a man. What does it matter what you say about people?
Goodbye, Tanner.
Adios.